Okay, let's continue with the descriptive research, which is the final part of this chapter 3. So this descriptive research is popularly known among the marketers. So they want to consider, using this kind of a research design in their studies. So of course, there are three different purposes in using this descriptive research. Number one is you want to determine the characteristic of the certain group. So you want to identify how many percent of that group which is belongs to male or female, or they are using us online survey or online shopping, and for example, and etc. So this is kind of the characteristic that you want to understand. And of course, it also link into the second second purpose, which is to estimate the proportion of people in given population who have behaved in a particular manner. Whenever that you already understand, you got already all the information, the numbers or percentage of the group in that in that population, it's easy for you to make a decision, or easy for you to strategize your strategy after that. And these also link into the specific prediction, which means that link into give you example or give you idea on how you do develop your marketing strategy for that particular group. Okay, for example, like talking about the descriptive research, okay, about 60% of the students in FPEP or in the Faculty of Business are female compared to male, for example. And most of these are female, right? And then 60% to 40%. So that is a kind of the characteristic that I want to find out. So all of these students, 100%, 70% of the students in Faculty of Business are using, they have experience using the online shopping. Okay, so that is a behavior, which means 70% of the population here in FPEP, they prefer to shop online. Okay, and out of this also can give the idea to me as a marketer. If I want to sell my product, I have to use the online platform, especially if I want to target for the students of the Faculty of Business. Okay. And types of the descriptive research can be, described. I mean, can be, classified into two different types of descriptive research here. Number one is longitudinal and also cross-sectional studies. So the longitudinal, it can be divided into two, which is a true panel and omnibus panel, whereas for the cross-sectional is a sample survey. Okay, so let's go one by one. For the cross-sectional studies, normally it relates to a sample of elements. For example, household, dealers, retail stores, or other entities from a given population. So again, when it comes into these cross-sectional studies, they can be divided into two types or two groups of survey cross-sectional studies. Namely, is a field studies or surveys. So what is the field studies and survey here? So the field studies is ex post factor scientific inquiries that aim at finding the relations and interrelations among variables in a real setting. So this field study, you go to the survey, you go to the site in order to see what is the real setting. You go exactly to that field. For example, like if you want to see, like using the observation or whatever, and then you go and check what's happening. You go to the real environment that situation is happening. Okay, compared to the survey research, which is a major strength of the survey research is a wide scope, which is a very widely used most among the researchers. So the detailed information can be obtained from a sample of a large population. So of course, talking about this survey research, it is it's not as simply that the survey that you have to conduct on the 10 people or a 2% or 10. Of course, there is a guideline for you to follow in order for you what is the minimum number of respondents that need to be included under this survey research. Okay. So the second one is longitudinal studies, which is another types of the descriptive study here. So the longitudinal studies, as mentioned earlier, involves panels, which is there are two types of panels, true panels and omnibus panels. So number one is the true panels that involve repeated measurements of the same variable. Okay, that is what we call as a true panels. The second one is omnibus panel. So this omnibus panel is a sample of elements in selected and maintained, but the information collected from the sample members are varies. Okay, so compared to the true panels just now, the true panels, you are using the same variables. Okay, your same variables. The second one for the omnibus panel is selected and maintained, but the information collected from the sample members are very, it can be a different members. Okay, unlike for the true panel just now, the true panel is a same respondent. Let me give you one example for the longitudinal study. If you go to the, if you have a diagnosis, for example, like for those a patient, a cancer patient. So when they've been diagnosed by the doctor that you have a cancer, any types of cancer, so normally the same doctor are going to ask the patient to come again after 1 month or maybe 3 months. You want to see the sample. You want to see that what's happening to this patient after they already receive the medication from the doctor. So they want to see what is the difference. 1 month after you take this medication is like this, the 3 months is like this, 1 year is like this. So if you remember that the patient is the same patient, so which means that they are using the true panels here, which means that a repeated measurement of the same variables. This is just a simple example for you to understand the concept. Okay, so this is what we call as a longitudinal studies in this case. Okay, so the comparison of the exploratory and descriptive research design here, okay, is in terms of maybe compared to the objective, characteristic, methods, and also outcome and use. As you can see, of course, there are differences between these two, exploratory and descriptive research. So in terms of the exploratory, normally they discover the new insight or the new ideas. Unlike with the descriptive research, which is you describe the market characteristic of functions. Okay, in terms of the characteristics, the exploratory is very flexible because you are not so sure, you are not sure yet what kind of the topic, what kind of the elements that you want to include in your study. Okay, unlike with the descriptive research, there is a more structured. You know already what you want. You already have a, the hypothesis that you want to to explore. Okay, and so on. In terms of methods, of course, there are varies of methods used under the exploratory research, whether you can use the literature review, experience survey, focus group, and case study. Compared to descriptive, you are using the sample survey, a true panels, omnibus panels. Okay, outcome is for the exploratory research, you only provide you with the basic understanding of the problem. Okay, it's not necessary that you can, for this exploratory research, it's not likely that going to provide you 100% solution to your problem. Whereas for the descriptive, it is a understanding of the relationship exists among the variables. Okay, among the variables. So these are kind of things that maybe can be used. Okay, as you can see that the comparison between these two. And of course, the usage of the exploratory research can be used as a basis for further research or as input to descriptive research. Whereas for the descriptive research findings can be used to make a decision. Okay, so these are the two things that maybe you need to understand between these two lah. Okay, so I think that's all for this chapter 3. Thank you.